Hey guys, it's Taylor and welcome back to my channel. Today I am putting up my very late Reading Rush TBR. If you don't know what the Reading Rush is, it used to be Booktubeathon, but then the creators decided to rebrand it as the Reading Rush because it's not just for people on BookTube, it's for book bloggers, people on book Twitter, etc. and etc. And I guess it's more inclusive that way. There's like a website and everything, and I have done absolutely no planning for it. It also doesn't help that I am going through one of the worst reading slumps that I have ever had since graduating from college. It's really frustrating. Everything I pick up is just so bland and boring, so I'm hoping that the spirit of the Reading Rush will get me back in the groove of things. I should also add that during the week of the Reading Rush, I will be going on a short trip to Boston to visit some friends. So I'm going to be on a plane, which on one hand, that's 6 hours, about 6 hours, one each way. So 12 hours total for me to read. So I'm hoping that will help. So yeah, I don't want to waste any time, and I have to edit this video and put it up hopefully tomorrow morning at the start of the Reading Rush to get everything kicked into gear. So let's talk about the books I'm reading. So there are 7 challenges and a bonus challenge. So the first challenge is to read a book with purple on the cover. Well, just because I'm completely failing at the Book Junkie trials doesn't mean that I can be excluded from reading the group book, and that book will be Stardust by Neil Gaiman. As you can see, the entire cover is purple. So that's what we're going to count, and no one can stop me. I will not be stopped. It's also short, thank God. And I've heard a lot of good things about Neil Gaiman. Do I know what it's about? No. I'm assuming it's about a star and the dust it leaves behind, but only time will tell. The next challenge is to read a book in the same spot the entire time. For that, we're going with Saga Volume 3 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. If you don't know what these books are about, it's a sort of Romeo and Juliet in space thing where this guy and this girl from different planets, different species on opposite sides of a major intergalactic war fall in love and have a child. And now both sides of this war don't like what they stand for, don't like what the child stands for, so they are out to kill them. And that's the book. And so it's a really good series. It's a short comic. I think I can read it in one spot, in one sitting as well. So that's challenge number 2. Done. The next challenge is to read a book that you meant to read last year. And that's a lot of books. So I had a hard time choosing, but I am going to go with a book that isn't short necessarily, but it's by one of my favorite authors. So I am hoping that will kick my butt back into reading. Great way of putting that, Taylor. Really showing off those English degree skills. Anyway, that book is Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I don't know much about it. I know it's science fiction. I know it's sort of told in like a mixed media format. And I'm hoping that with all of the redacted stuff, it'll actually end up being a really short book. And of course I have to read this before I go on my flight because it is huge. So I'm hoping this will kind of kick me into high gear so I can read most of it Sunday and then try to get to it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and part of Thursday. So wish me luck on this boy, because he's thick. The next challenge is to read an author's first book. So I am going with The Candle and the Flame by Nafisa Azad. I met her actually at Y'all West, and that was so cool. She was really nice. She has a bunch of like pictures of her characters, and 2 of them looked cute. So I was like, well, I might as well hop on this book train. And I've heard a lot of good things about it, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. So I am excited to get to it. The next challenge is to read a book with a non-human main character. For that one, I'm going with The Adventure Zone, Murder on the Rockport Limited by Clint McElroy, Griffin McElroy, Justin McElroy, Travis McElroy, and Carrie Peach. So if you don't know, this is a graphic novel adaptation of my favorite podcast, The Adventure Zone. If you haven't listened to The Adventure Zone, please go do it. It's basically a podcast featuring these three brothers, the McElroy brothers. If you might know them from My Brother and Me, which is it's an advice podcast with three brothers. So it's three brothers and their dad, and they're playing Dungeons and Dragons together. And what started off as a goofy little experiment ends up turning into one of the funniest and most heartfelt pieces of media I have ever had the pleasure of consuming. It's so funny, it's so heartfelt. There's POC rep and LGBT plus rep, and I would recommend listening to the podcast first, but you don't have to. So this is the second book based off of their second arc in the podcast, and it's Murder on the Rockport Limited, so it's like a murder mystery sort of deal. Now, two of the three, maybe four main characters, Taco the wizard, and Merle Hightower, no one's really sure what his last name is, are an elf and a dwarf respectively. The other character, Magnus Burnsides, is a human, but I'm counting these two as non-human, so it counts. There you go. Boom. The next challenge is to pick a book with 5 or more words in the title. So actually two of my books can count for this challenge. The Candle and the Flame, and of course Murder on the Rockport Limited, which I will be using for this challenge, because I'm more confident I can finish this one, if we're being honest. So yeah, we're using this. And the final challenge is to read and watch a book to movie adaptation. And for that one, I'm going with Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Yes, that's right, we are doubling up on the challenges. I've heard good things about the movies. I've actually heard that the movie is better than the book, so I'd like to see if that's the case. And of course, the bonus challenge is to read 7 books. I doubt that's going to happen. If by some miracle, I get to that point, I will just let you know in my vlogs. That's right, I will be vlogging this endeavor, and you can watch me fail in real time. So yeah, what are you reading for the Reading Rush? Have you read any of these books, or are planning on reading any of them for the Reading Rush? Please, please, please let me know in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.